Val Gonzalez, Fight Sport Manila. Joining me is Mitch the Dragon Chilson, and we're talking over coffee, Buttr coffee. Val Gonzalez, Fight Sport Manila, joining me right now. We wanted you to be on the show for the longest time. Finally, you're here. Mitch the Dragon Chilson. How you doing, man?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me. Thanks for coming to the new spot and having me on your show.
Man, let's address the elephant in the room. There are a lot of fans in the Philippines of Mitch the Dragon Chilson. One thing you don't know, he's been living in the Philippines for 3 years now.
Yeah.
How did you live under the radar, man?
I'm not under the radar. I'm here, you know. I fell in love with a Filipina, and we started a business here. This is the business, Fight Shape and Buttr Coffee. And it's just been an amazing experience. I love the Philippines. I love Filipinos. I love the language, the culture. It's just great to be here and be part of the community. So,
you know, we are the happiest that you're here, man. And especially if the fans right now know you live here, they're definitely going to be visiting this gym, Fight Shape Studio. Tell us more about this place.
Well, we started about a year ago. Me and my girlfriend, Sarcy, we traveled the world looking at different gyms and restaurants and coffee shops because we wanted to build a place that we would want to hang out. You know, you want to go there in the morning, do your work, have a coffee, take a lunch break, work out, you know, get in some exercise, and then you'd go back to work, right? And you would be able to get an afternoon coffee or a protein shake or something like that. So that's what we built. And we searched the entire world looking for the best ingredients, programs, like ways that we could bring fulfillment to people, like that third place, like the whole thing with Starbucks. We just attached a gym to it and made a better coffee.
It's a good combination.
Yeah.
What's the difference of Fight Shape that, you know, what do you guys offer differently from other gyms?
Well, most times when you go to a gym, you do that workout. If you go to a spinning studio, you do that workout. If you do a yoga studio, the yoga instructor takes you through a flow. If you go to a CrossFit studio, you do a workout of the day, right? No matter what it is, you do that workout. When you come into Fight Shape, we ask you what your goal is, right? And then we test you. So we see if you have a problem in either flexibility or weakness. People are either too stiff and they can't move, or they're too weak and they can't hold on to their body. So once we test you, then we design a workout for you. And then we teach you that workout. So you can do it anywhere. Most gyms need you to come in, right? They need you to be at their studio. They need you to be at our place. We don't want you to be at our place. I'm just kidding. We want you to come.
Yep.
We want you to come because we want you to learn. But we offer an online format so that we can teach people what they do when they travel, when they're at a hotel, when they go to a guest gym. They know their exercise program. They know that it's simply just a few body weight exercises can prepare you to do anything. You know, whether you're trying to run a marathon, lose weight, compete in a professional mixed martial arts bout, or if you're trying to just, you know, get rid of some back pain and lose some weight. So whatever the goal is, we can design a program for you. So you can't touch your toes, we're gonna teach you how to touch your toes.
Definitely. That's the thing I was seeing. I saw a video wherein you were able to make someone touch his toes for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I can't touch my toes.
We're gonna try. We're gonna try to get you to
I'll
touch your
try.
toes. It's usually the degree of severity where it causes the tightness. But I mean, people that can't touch their toes are going to a CrossFit class and trying to throw 100 kilos over their head and squat. That's ridiculous. You can't even touch your toes and you're gonna go run a marathon, right? It doesn't make any sense. People like to do what they're good at. Unfortunately, you have to do a lot of things you might not like here, but you're gonna see the benefit in how you move in your daily life and also the pain that you feel. So we found some simple ways to help minor pain. If you got minor back pain, minor knee pain, we can help you correct those imbalances that lead to a pain-free lifestyle.
And yeah, going back to what you said, this is going to be tailor-made for the customer.
We designed the workout around you. You know, if you're tight, you're obviously stiff. You can't touch your toes. Or you're weak, you're not strong, right? So some people are both, right? Some people are stiff and they're weak. So we correct those things first, and we help you move better. And then, if you want to get strong, you want to run a marathon, you want to compete in mixed martial arts or boxing or something like that, we help you get there as well. A lot of people, when they go into a Muay Thai class, they can't do the kick, right? They can't turn their hip that way. And there's an anatomical reason why you can't move your leg like that. And they're just like, turn your hip, turn your hip. The coach is just screaming at you, hip in, and you can't do it because you're tight. It doesn't allow you to move like that. So we help you create those movement patterns that help you can do anything. I was just a personal trainer when I started. I created this system and I became a professional fighter, a professional martial artist on TV. Like I was on major TV competing in martial arts in front of thousands of people because of this system. I just slowly eliminated all my flaws. And it doesn't matter what your physical present is, we can design a program for you that can take you to whatever your best future looks like. I design all the programs. So when I'm overseas, like last week when I was in Vietnam, they send me who's coming in, and then I design that workout program, and then we put it up, and then we have our coaches take people through that customized workout.
In terms of group class, man, what's the maximum number of students you get?
I prefer 3, but we do 4. Well, I used to teach at Evolve Mixed Martial Arts, and we had 40 people in those massive, beautiful facilities, right? And it's the same thing. My space is small here. I don't have that much room, so I can only fit 4 people in. I'd love teaching class with like 400 people. That would be like a goal, like fill a stadium with like 4,000 people and we all go through a workout. That would be a great, way to do it. But here, it's just 4, so it's small.
Hey, it's good, man. At least you have a lot of one-on-one time with you.
Yeah.
But speaking of another business you're running here is a Buttr coffee. What's the story behind this?
Buttr coffee, it's bulletproof coffee, and we didn't like the way it tastes, right? It's amazing nutritional benefits. The fats, they help you reduce cravings. You crave less sugar, you supercharge your energy, and it helps you burn fat, right? So those 3 things together give you this superfood of coffee. And it just didn't taste good. So we wanted to change the way it tasted. So we started doing booths all around Manila. And we'd set up a little booth and we would serve coffee all day, and I would play with the recipes. And it took me about 2 years, and I finally got it right. And now it's available at Buttr Coffee and inside our studio.
I always said, I saw that bulletproof coffee on Facebook. I tried to do the recipe. I can't, man. It's like, it's just the butter's only going up. So when you drink it, it's like the first 2 minutes you just have full of butter in your...
Did you use a blender?
I did. Then I did the mixer, all of the hacks.
Yeah.
But I never had it like that. and that's a lot to say. I haven't tasted it. It's like a frap, it's like a frap in a way, how it's perfectly mixed. And that's really amazing.
Thanks.
And again, you have it here in Fight Shape Studio, but from time to time you also go have booths around if there are some food parks around.
Instagram, Buttr Coffee, and we just go to different booths and practice and get to meet people and advertise our product that way.
Is it hard? Do people get surprised that, hey, that's the guy from One?
Occasionally it happens. Somebody will come up and recognize me and come get a picture. That's always cool,
And it's also at a very competitive price,
We're trying to make it as inexpensive as possible because the ingredients come from all over. We get the oil from, California. We get the coffee from Brazil. It's a complex process to find all of those ingredients. We have suppliers here in the Philippines that we go visit farms and plantations, and so it's a great way to help involve the community as well.
Oh, that's really amazing. So the main reason for you having your businesses is mainly due to your girlfriend being a Filipino.
Sarsi, but everything worked out. We figured we would be like kind of that first mover in this type of boutique fitness, right? Because here there's only big boxes, big chains, right? There's not a lot of these little, boxes, these boutique fitness, chains. And so we're kind of like one of the first ones here. So everywhere else has just these massive followings like Barry's Boot Camp, Orange Theory, all these huge, fitness chains. So we're kind of ahead of the curve, we think, here in Manila.
And this gym of yours, Fight Shape Studio, it's been around for a year already. Are there any challenges setting up a studio like this in the Philippines?
Of course. Everything here in the Philippines takes a little bit longer, but it's worth it. It may be late, but it's worth the wait. And we've had our problems. We had a location at Greenbelt 1 that closed on the day that we opened because management didn't have permits. And then we had to put everything in storage. And then we waited, we looked around, found the best location, and this was perfect for what we needed. We have no investors, no partners. It's just me and her, mom and pop fitness shop. And we're having a great time doing it. And in between shows, in between one, I'm here teaching classes all day.
Yeah, I mean, look at it right now, man. It's an amazing facility. And just to think this is a year in, because some would take time to really build their brand, but I think you're really building fast compared to others.
Well,
but,
the thing is if you're good, I think people will tell you about, people will tell their friends about it. If you like the coffee and you're like, wow, I felt amazing after that coffee, you're going to tell somebody. And then that person's going to tell. So that's what we hope our marketing program develops into. Is referral. Everybody's a referral, and every referral's a client. So.
Well, I'm telling all the viewers right now, Sport Manila Buttr coffee is really good, and I'm not saying this because you're in front of me. Let's go to one, man. You're the most recognizable face in one, aside from Chatri, of course. How does it feel that one has grown this big so fast?
One championship. The story has just been absolutely incredible. From the birth in Singapore all the way to our 100th show in Tokyo, Japan on October 13th. It's just been incredible to be a part of this ride. I competed in the first one and now I'm commentating the 100th century show. It's amazing. And to see it just grow, to commentate a Demetrius Johnson match, to have Eddie Alvarez in front of me competing. And I'm analyzing Eddie Alvarez. It's crazy. Sage Northcutt, Yushin Okami. These guys are legends. These guys are guys that I watched, when I was training, for my first amateur match. I was watching these guys. I was watching Rich Franklin get kicked in the arm and break his arm and then go on to win, and now I'm having lunch with these guys on an airplane. I'm like, this is crazy, So the whole ride has just been nuts. And I get offers all the time to do other stuff, but there's no way I could. This is the dream right here, man. This has been so much fun.
Yeah, the cool thing about 1 Century is how you structured the card. You're giving spotlight to the big names like DJ Eddie, but aside from that, you're also giving respect to the OGs like Bibiano, Brandon Vera, the guys who were there when one wasn't really a big name as it is now. And it's so amazing that you got Chatri made that a distinction that this 1 Century event is not only going to honor the new ones, but the guys who were there in the beginning, and you included, man. You're going to be calling you're going to call tons of matches.
Yeah, like these guys are my buddies. I've trained with them. I did a training camp with Bibiano Fernandez. Brandon Vera's been to my coffee shop. It's like I'm very, very close with these guys. Like Edward Folion, me and him competed together on the same card back in 2010 Martial Combat. Stuff like that. These guys are my buddies. They're my heroes. At the same time. So. It's just a great experience to get to still continue to be active in the game like this.
Yeah, and speaking of that, man, are you going to be calling all matches during 1 Century? Because that's 22 matches.
Yeah.
I don't know how many Buttr coffee you have to drink, but I think it's going to be a lot because your energy needs to be high octane all the time.
My energy is high regardless because I'm having such a good time. They're filled with a sense of gratitude every time I get ready to jump on the mic, So it doesn't matter. It's not hard to get amped up about 22 matches. I think, there's some rumors of, some other, guest comments. I don't know what, I can't spoil it.
Surprises, yeah.
I can't spoil it yet, but the whole show is going to be completely different. One massive day, 2 huge cards, right? I mean, we've got Angela Lee and Zhang Jingnam main event in the morning. And then we've got Brandon Vera and Unla Unsong main eventing at night. It's going to be crazy. The whole day is going to be filled with shenanigans. And it goes all the way back to, I think, like the October 5th with One Championship Fan Fest. Like, we're having a whole festival for the fans for a week. You know, there's seminars and competitions, and Rich Franklin's One Hero series is going to be some part of the mix. It's going to be crazy. The whole week is going to be dedicated to One Championship fans, and you get to meet the superstars. You get to, like, you know, hang out with Martin Nguyen and Brandon Barrett signings, and there's it goes on and on. You have to check it out. It's going to be so much fun, you guys. I can't wait.
And definitely, everyone is going to watch One Century. You know, if you have work that day, you should take a day off because it's going to be a whole day affair, right?
Even if you don't have the day off, you can still watch it on the One Super app or on YouTube or something, you know? And you can watch the entire show right there. I can't believe how easy it is to watch One Championship. I'm a huge MMA fan for decades now. You know how hard it is to watch pay-per-views in the States sometimes? Like, you want to watch some of these other big organizations on their show, you can't. Unless you have some special app that you have to pay $20 a month for, right? You can't watch their match, right? You can't watch your favorite superstars compete anytime, anywhere. One Super app. Anywhere in the world I can watch, you know, the latest and greatest world championship match. It's crazy, the stuff that, you know, One Championship is doing. And now we've got One Esports and One Studios. We're just getting started.
Well, let's talk about One Studios. That's like their movie or the entertainment side of One. And you're already doing commentating. You already became a fireman. Are you going to be starring in the movie?
Give me a movie, Chantry. Come on, let's do it. I think, you know.
One thing that I would like to tell Mr. Chantry, if we had a chance to talk to him, is that the martial arts industry and film, you know, if there's someone who could do it right, it's One Championship. I'm just saying there.
Dude, we got all the superstars. We've got, I mean, the biggest names in Asia are part of One Championship. So it makes great sense, you know. I think One Studios is going to be amazing. You know, the stories that we have to tell, like Team Lakai, I think that's going to be like a major, you know, award-winning, you know, docuseries. I think that's just going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun to see what we come up with in the next couple of years.
And well, speaking of like Team Lakai, you know, you've been with them since day one. But like seeing their growth, man, because, you know, you've read like a lot of columns like in the beginnings of the Lakai, but you see how they improve. They have great ground game. Edward Fulayo almost pulled an upset over Eddie. And we have Pasio as champion. How do you talk about the growth of a Filipino martial artist right now?
Team Lakai is a perfect example of these kids that came from very little. And there was a leader, a teacher, a master that had something, a passion to share. And these kids, they are warriors. And there's like 20, imagine, in the mountains of the Philippines is a tribe of 20 warrior men and women who are virtually like the same. Like they're carbon copies of each other, right? And there's just like these warriors that have been trained for decades in the mountains of the Philippines. And they have this amazing story, and to watch them grow and to watch them develop has just been truly magical. You know, there's the sweetest bunch of dudes. Like, you know, they're the friendliest, nicest people, and they're just murderers row of killers. They're just the most dangerous people on the planet. And they're all like educated in like criminology, which makes it even more scary because they could be like a superhero team of wushu warriors that travel the Philippines defending the underprivileged. It's an amazing story. I love it.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, there are people like what Chatra always say, if you want to have someone as a role model, how are they, like, behind the scenes, if you're hanging out with the Folayangs?
They're really nice and humble. Like, you would never, like, Pashiao, King Ed, Bonario, you know, like, they're just the nicest people. Like, Eustaquio is philosophical. You know, he'll sit down with you and he'll break down life and, you know, religion. And, you know, Edward Foliang, he's very shy. Yeah, you know, he's very, you know, he doesn't really have bold predictions about his matches or anything. He's always very humble. The fame has never gotten to him. You know, they're just really sweet, humble, good-hearted, hard-working. You know, like the day after Pacquiao's matchup where he lost his belt to Saruta, because Saruta was doing this weird thing. The next day in Jakarta, here in the Philippines at City of Dreams, I was working out in the gym, and they were immediately drilling it. It was like 2 days later, but immediately they went. And then I saw him do it all week long, right? And then what happens? What happens in the rematch?
We saw that.
Boom! Sleeps him. You know, it's that type of work ethic that I get to see transfer into the circle. You know, and that's amazing to see that type of work ethic.
And how excited are you that, you know, you have these amazing fighters in one and amazing core values instilled in the company, and now they are taking over other territories. You know, they're number one in Asia already, no doubt, but going into the US, you know, how do you think one will fare? Because clearly people are tired of the trash talking.
Are they tired?
I mean, come
Are
on.
they tired? I'm a fan. I like the other organization. You know, I think they've got some very talented athletes, but it's just a different, you know, it's like, do you like that sports entertainment, the trash talk and, you know, the hype and all that stuff? Or do you prefer, you know, humility, integrity, you know, respect? Like, do you like those traditional values of martial arts that I learned as a kid when I was 6 years old in my, you know, first karate class? You know, I spent a decade in kendo, right? Like learning how to meditate and be nice to people, and martial arts are only for self-defense, you know? But that sports entertainment, you know, that drama, it entertains, you know? So I hope that, you know, we can bring our excitement, right? The passion that, you know, one championship has. I hope that translates on the screen more than just the outside, you know, shenanigans.
It's true, because I could always tell my family, if there's one place they could bring my little sister or my little niece, it's in the one championship event. Because you know they're going to enjoy, like the oldies are going to enjoy, but the kids are going to stay safe.
Yeah. You know, nobody's going to be throwing anything at the athletes or anything like that. Like it's, you know, we don't have confrontations outside of, you know, the arena. So it's a very, you know, honest look at what martial arts is supposed to be, you know, rather than, you know, theatrics and entertainment, you know. But we have that too. You know, we offer those thrilling moments in martial arts where you see come behind victories and amazing stars emerge from nowhere to capture titles and championships. So it's amazing.
Yeah, that is indeed true. Like, if you see a stare down from a one championship press conference, regardless if they touch each other or not, you feel electricity already. And I think you're sure when you see that sometimes the crowd gets so silent because they could really feel the intensity, but they also feel safe that, you know, nothing crazy is going to happen, you know.
You know, like watching Brandon Vera and Mauro Cirilli, like they were like looking at each other. I knew nobody's going to swing. Like nothing like that is ever even a possibility, you know, because the athletes are respectful and they appreciate the moment as well. You know, our fans are different, you know.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of the fans, the Filipino fans, how do you feel about them, you know? Because right now, aside from the events being sold out, if you go to the press conference that you host, it's already loud. It's so hard to go in already, even as for a media person.
Yeah, we keep going up, you know. I think we're getting up the mountain, right? We started down here for years. You were with the early parts of the game, you know, and then now we're starting to see this, you know, rise of, you know, one championship and becoming the home of martial arts. And we are, you know, the largest global, you know, sports entity in this part of the world. And it's just amazing to be part of the ride.
Yeah, definitely. You know, a lot of people are saying a lot of things, but we live here. And I'm sure if I'm in Asia, if they say, like, what do you know about MMA? It's all one championship is already the word synonymous to MMA. And with that, man, the itch. Come on, Mitch. You got to tell us, because I'm sure a lot of your fans are wondering, you know, there's a lot of big names right now. And there was an event entitled Enter the Dragon.
Yeah, I
man.
know. I got a lot of heat for that one, but it wasn't, you know.
Do you still want to compete, man?
It's not, I never retired, you know. It's just I got hurt, and I've been trying to deal with that injury for a while. And, that's why I built this place, is so that I could do rehab. And I've been doing rehab and trying to get, back into that type of shape, fight shape, if you will, for a long time. But just, it's funny how the world works, like all of a sudden you keep getting these offers, and the way that we travel with one championship, it'd be hard to do a dedicated camp. I will never say no. It's something, to be honest with you, it's something I think about every day. Every single time I do a workout, something is missing for me if it's not that, for that purpose, because there's no other rush like standing in the middle of the circle and having your hand raised and then getting one of those medals put around your neck. It's an incredible feeling that I would love to do that again.
Yeah, and I hope Mr. Chaudhry Sititong watches this interview, because I'd like to put it out there. Your match in the Philippines, 1-5, and that was in the Araneta Coliseum. That was a no contest. So I think if there's a place for the Dragons...
Well, we did it again. We did the rematch again, and Shannon Soccer kicked me again,
But
so.
it's in Singapore, man. You owe the Philippines, if there's a place where the Dragons should return, it should be in Manila. I'm just saying. Looking at your shelf right there, there's one spot there that could possibly be a belt.
Man, the featherweight division is really interesting right now. Martin Nguyen's the champion, and he's just been wrecking everybody that tries to step up and take the throne. But then we've got some guys. We've got guys like Gary Tonin. We've got Tan Lee, who's just been starching everybody. The featherweight division is going to get real interesting this next couple months. So I'm happy to be, in the mix, calling it. But I still train. I still love the idea of being a professional athlete. But everything has its time, and I did my part. And a lot of people don't even know that I was an athlete at one time. But I like the commentary thing, man. I still have to study. I still have to learn, like the whole leg game in jiu-jitsu. That evolves by leaps and bounds. So I still have to stay sharp on all the latest techniques. So I still get that aspect of it. And I get to get inside their head and see what's going on in the mind of a superior athlete. So I like the gig now.
Yeah, speaking of like you said it yourself, people are unaware you fought on one. So I think with this much people viewing one championship event, I think it's the perfect time, for the Dragon not to fully come back, but even just a dream match.
That would be a comeback.
Like a one-off, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't have to do it again. But,
yeah.
If one signed a big name, I'm not going to name names, but...
We've got a lot of big names coming,
know.
Man. There's a lot of big names coming. So we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. But, before I let you go, you have your fans there. I think it's the perfect opportunity for you to invite them to Fight Shape Studio, Buttr Coffee, and everything else you'll do. So the floor is yours.
Hey guys, Mitch Chilson here, Fight Sport Manila. I'm here at Fight Shape Studio. It's my gym. Got a coffee shop called Buttr Coffee. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook. All we're trying to do is get as many people healthy and in shape that we can, and spread a little bit of love along the way. Thank you for your time. One championship, 1 century, the biggest show coming to Tokyo, Japan on October 13th. Do not miss it. Superstars will collide in the biggest martial arts card of the past 100 years, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope to see you all there. Come by the studio. Check out Buttr Coffee if I'm ever around in a booth in your area. But thank you so much for your time.
Yeah. It's an honor for us. We've wanted to have you for the longest time, so we're so grateful to have you because, like I said, he's the busiest guy in all one events. So if you want to have a photo with him or just have a training with him, just go here. We're gonna
That'd be weird, but okay.
We're gonna be putting all the details on this video. And again, thank you so much. It's an amazing honor to have you.
Thanks,
and hopefully we get to talk to you again.
Of course, anytime.
Mitch the Dragon Chilson, Fight Sport Manila.